Welcome to Project U 2.2, where my goal is to help you break barriers and step confidently into an elevated version of yourself. This podcast dives into mindset, growth, and creating the life you were meant to live. I'm Carrie, a former teacher turned leadership and growth mentor, helping people overcome self-doubt and embrace their next chapter. I believe you are your greatest project. Each week, we'll explore the habits, stories, and strategies that help you break barriers, step into your potential, and level up your life. So let's get started. Have you ever noticed how life has a way of speaking to us? At first, it's subtle, almost like a whisper. A thought you can brush away, a feeling you can ignore. But if we don't pay attention, that whisper grows louder. Eventually, it feels like life is shouting, trying to get our attention. I used to hear people say, first, life taps you on the shoulder, then it throws a brick, and then it hits you with a truck. But I like to picture it differently. I think of life's lessons like a storm. And right now in Michigan, I am sitting in my office recording this podcast, and I can hear it storming outside. You might hear some pitter-patter of the rain coming down. You might hear some thunder in the background. It's perfect timing. At first, a storm is just a gentle breeze. It's easy to miss. Then the wind picks up, gusts that rattle the windows. If you still don't listen, a full-on storm rolls into your life, shaking everything. And if you keep ignoring it, suddenly you're standing in a hurricane with nowhere to hide. Want some good news? Coaching helps you notice the breeze before the storm builds. It's about learning to tune in earlier when change feels possible, not when it's forced. So today, we're talking about listening to life before the storm. Some of you may have gone through a health storm. At first, you feel the breeze. You're tired more often. You shrug it off. Then, the gusts come. Weight gain, stress piling up, exhaustion becoming normal, and you tell yourself, I'm fine, I'll deal with it later. But then eventually the storm hits. A doctor's warning that you can't ignore. Are you in a place that if you don't take action, the hurricane might come? A serious health crisis? Life gives us signs, and the earlier we listen, the gentler the change. So let me ask you, where in your life right now are you feeling a little breeze? Health is one of the biggest places where life speaks. First, the universe pushes a little breeze your way. Maybe you're a little more tired than usual. If you don't take any action and listen to this breeze, the universe might toss you some sort of gust to get your attention. Maybe you start catching colds more often or weight creeps on. You have two choices. Take action or continue on and ignore these signs. If you choose to ignore the whisper of a breeze or a louder gust, the universe will send you a storm. It's going to get your attention. The doctor is warning you about blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar. Continue on with the same behaviors of eating and lack of movement, and the universe will work harder to send you a message. Take cover. A hurricane is headed your way, a full-blown health scare. I know this story because I lived it. Losing 50 pounds wasn't just about a number. It was about learning to hear the breeze and not wait for the storm. Here's a pause moment. Where in your health are you ignoring a breeze right now? Maybe it's sleep, stress, the way you fuel your body. Don't wait for a hurricane. Let's shift gears. Let's look at your career. Look at a Sunday night forecast focused on your job. Work carries its own forecast too. The universe might give you a little breeze, that Sunday night restlessness. Then, if you don't change anything or listen to the breeze, the universe isn't going to stop. It's going to push a gust your way. The feelings grow deeper. You start dreading Mondays, and energy dips lower each week. When you don't push yourself out of your comfort zone and continue to just go through the motions, the universe will throw you a storm. Snapping at coworkers, missing deadlines, feeling burned out. When this is ignored, watch out. A hurricane is headed your way, and this might look like you walking away abruptly or being let go. For me, the breezes showed up in my teaching career. I loved teaching. But after doing it for decades, Sunday nights grew heavier. I felt drained, but told myself to push through. Pushing through doesn't make the storm disappear. It just delays the hurricane. Think about your work. Where are you in the weather pattern? Breeze? Gusts? Or already in the middle of the storm? Let's look at how the same philosophy can be applied to relationships, where we might see cracks in the sky. Relationships too have weather systems. The storm of a relationship between you and a friend, family member, or partner might start with a breeze, maybe a small disagreement brushed off, and turn into a gust. You start avoiding certain conversations. If you don't deal with it at this point, it brews into a storm. Resentment builds. If we still ignore it and refuse to look at it or deal with it, it can turn into a hurricane. Painful disconnection or loss. Maybe this is with a partner, a friend, or a family member. I've seen it in my own life. Little breezes I ignored until suddenly I was standing in a storm. Relationships rarely collapse overnight. They weaken when breezes go unheard. Let's think about our financial life and examine this same philosophy. Are you living with finances that feel like storm clouds are overhead? Money whispers too. You might first feel that breeze, overspending a little here or there. Over time, these expenditures gain momentum and the issue turns into gusts. Credit card balances creeping higher. That feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, or the anxiety that tightens in your chest. You can deal with it now or let it fester. If you don't face it, the universe tries to teach you again, but with a stronger message. You'll have to face a storm. This looks like bills piling up, stress with every paycheck. Again, if you don't face this issue and take it head on, it can turn into a hurricane. Debt collectors, bankruptcy, a financial crisis. I've stared at a bill with that storm cloud overhead. It is humbling. But the truth is, financial hurricanes don't disappear and they don't appear out of thin air. They start with breezes, and those are the easiest places to shift. Maybe the most powerful storm of all is the one inside of us, our sense of purpose and worth. The breeze comes, and it's that whisper of, is this really it? And then the gust comes, where you start comparing yourself to others and feeling stuck or restless. If you continue to ignore it and don't do anything about it, the storm comes. You start numbing out, scrolling, shopping, eating, just to escape. And then the hurricane, where maybe you experience some kind of an identity crisis, some depression, a full burnout. I've been there too. After retiring from teaching, I felt those breezes and gusts, and it would have been so easy to just let the storm take over. But instead, I created Project U 2.2, this podcast, this work. It's my way of saying yes to the breeze and not waiting for the hurricane. What's the breeze you're feeling right now? Is it in your health, your work, a relationship, finances, your sense of purpose. Life will always send us lessons. The earlier we listen, the gentler the lesson. Coaching helps us notice the breeze so we can make change before we're standing in the middle of a storm. The beautiful part is that you don't have to do it alone. Sometimes all we need is someone to help us hear what we've been tuning out, to point out the patterns, or to remind us that a breeze is already speaking. So today I want you to ask yourself, what small breeze can you act on right now? Maybe it's something small, drinking some more water, reaching out to a friend, dusting off a dream you've been pushing aside. Small shifts create powerful momentum, and those shifts often protect us from the storms ahead. Life isn't about avoiding storms altogether. They're always going to come. But it's about learning how to read the wind, how to anchor yourself and trust that you're strong enough to weather what comes. When you start listening to the breeze stage, you're going to be amazed at how much lighter, calmer, and more magnetic your life feels. If you're ready to start noticing your breezes before they turn into storms, or maybe you're standing in the middle of a storm right now and you need some help out of it, I would love to help you. Reach out, schedule a session. Go to www.projectu22.org or even just drop me a message. Let's explore what's waiting for you in those quiet whispers and start creating the life you've been hoping for, one gentle breeze at a time. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it today. And remember, you don't have to weather the hurricane alone. Together, we can learn to dance with the breeze.